Welcome to the Two Grumpy Men. C. Grooms and Bobby May in the building.
What it do? What it do? We here. Let's go. Another night. Let's go.
Here we go.
We got some still craziness going on, and politicians ain't making it no better. So let's get at it, man. What's what we got? What we gonna go in first with?
Well, we could do a little update. Update on the stimulus checks. That's the second one that they're not coming. Right now because you got
never coming.
I don't think they're coming, right? But you got the senators from the Republican side who are saying that certain states, like, well, we don't need a stimulus check, but your whole state is shut down and broke, like Indiana. Like, how are y'all saying y'all don't need a stimulus check? And they've been broke, right? That's what I'm saying. Or Kentucky.
Well, all right. Look at it. Indiana, the vice president is Pence,
right?
So of course he's gonna say, "My state don't need no stimulus check." You know what I'm saying?
I looked at the numbers. I beg to differ.
You gonna say Kentucky? Who's their man? Mitch
McConnell.
Okay.
But he didn't. He's not fighting the stimulus. He just wanted protections for businesses. He's not opposed to the stimulus.
But is the governor saying that the same thing?
Nah, the governor's like, we don't need it. Governor Indiana.
Okay,
that ain't Pence though, but that's their man.
That's their man.
Yeah.
Pence. I'm just saying, Pence he was the governor in Indiana.
Yeah, he was the governor for Indiana. Yeah, and so the dude that succeeded him, obviously he knows him.
Mm. So, I mean, we've been saying this since this started. I mean, and I've come to the conclusion that the American government they have no love for the American people. Bottom line, that's just what it is, and you can tell in their actions, the things they say, everything. The fact that what week is this, and they gave you $1,200. It's like the 13th week.
Yeah, it's just like week 13, 14. Yeah, we get ready to go into July.
And then just recently, this week, they said they're going to cut the $600 for unemployment a week earlier.
Right, they're going to cut that down. And
no, it's over in a week. It's supposed to be over the end of July, but it's going to be over a week before the end of July.
Right, I saw that.
Then you had a senator come out and say, we just paying people to sit at home.
That's how it initially started, right?
Then, Trump trying to win the election, and he's like, "Yo, give him the money." You know what I'm saying?
He gonna sign. Trump gonna sign.
Yeah, but it got to get past the Senate.
Right.
It got to get past the Senate. Like the House is, the Democrats are like, "Yeah, we with it," because they throwing in all kind of shit in the bill to make sure to cover their ass and make it and take care of their peoples. So they're like, yeah, give them $2,000. That they want to be the ones to say, look, this is what we did for the people. Y'all come out and vote for us in November. Trump want to be the one to sign off on it so he can say, look what I did for the people.
Right. Well,
everybody want to take credit for it, but it wasn't the plan wasn't good from the beginning. Like they never wanted to commit. They only wanted to, we're gonna give you $1,200. They never wanted to commit. That's why I said we'll have to see what happens after that. They waited and they've been waiting and holding it off. Now it's like we're gonna do a stimulus package for jobs. Okay, how is that gonna work? Like we're gonna do a stimulus package that's based on jobs. So you're gonna make jobs and to pay people to work. What are you gonna do? Like they don't have. This is the thing. They have no real plan. They don't have a plan. They don't have nothing in place. You have terrible people in leadership positions, and they don't know anything. And it shows. And it's showing every day with the people. Like now, they was like, they thought this is a 3-step plan to get states back open from the virus.
Mm.
So people start opening back up. People out partying. People getting sick. Right?
Word.
People getting sick again. Da 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 da. States that weren't hot spots are now hot spots. Why? Because those states is vacation states. The Floridas, the Texases, the Arizonas.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now they're getting hit hard because other people are coming from all over and coming there.
Doesn't that make sense in line with the protests that was going on all over the country? Like you had a mass amount of people getting together. If the virus was an issue, then more people should get sick, right?
But exactly, and that wasn't the issue. So what is? I mean, they came out and blatantly said the protests had nothing to do with these spikes.
That's stupidity. That doesn't make a correlation at all. So where the spikes coming from? Because people were still on lockdown. You know, phase 1, phase 2. You know, like here in New York, we're not in phase 3. Now Georgia might be open for the most part, but you know, you got states now like Texas talking about they're gonna scale it back.
Florida,
because they
shut it down.
Florida gonna shut it down, but then the governor came out today and said he's gonna have them going to school in August, full enrollment, because the economy in Florida can't survive without that school money. So what does that tell people, ladies and gentlemen? I've been telling you that your kid is a dollar sign. Yeah. You know, and they need to be in school in order for funds to get allotted for the following year. So here is a classic example of, you know what? I know people could get sick. The kids might get sick, but we need them in school. What type of shit is that?
Parents ain't going for that shit.
You don't have to go for it, parents. You know, homeschooling, register with the homeschooling. You keep your kids safe, and the state get their money.
The state of Georgia is, they left it up to the counties to decide what they want to do with schools. New
York is sending out surveys, as we speak. Like, well, do you want to do a 3-day a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or you want to be full, stay home? But then they had other questions. They wanted to know. It was all on the survey, official survey.
Yes.
Child care, all of that.
They sent out the same thing here. It wasn't a survey, but they let us know. They sent you got an email or a text from the school system saying basically they want to know by a certain date if you want to send your kid in school in person, or do you want to do online schooling?
Yeah, and they asked us the same thing and asked us how many days and do you need child care, blah, blah, blah. So they got a lot of work to do.
The majority of the people, when you look, they have no faith in the system. So they're not letting their kids go back in these buildings. Colleges is going to suffer because they got to send they don't even have all the classes for these kids to register, because now all of them are going to want to go online. Their parents ain't paying for them to go sit up in a dorm.
First of all, hold up
though.
They
may get sick in.
Here's a bigger issue though. What you said is 1,000% correct. But think about this. I go to a school that charges me $28,000, for the year tuition, right? But I ain't even there. I'm sitting home. They charging me and I'm home.
Yeah, you ain't paying for room and board. You just paying.
You ain't paying for room and board, but now you paying for tuition though.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying. But a lot of parents is like, they not trying to put their kids back in them buildings.
I wouldn't. Not until I have some safety precautions in place.
But they don't have none. Like I got a family member, and they're going to the University of Penn State, and I was told today that they're going to school from August to Thanksgiving. That's it, and then they're off until January. They got to wear masks, and they got to practice social distancing in the class. So you're going to be putting kids
social distancing in a class.
So that's 6 feet apart in the classroom.
But a class of 30, your rooms are not that big.
You ain't going to have you don't have I don't even know if you have 30 kids anymore in a college class.
All right, 20.
Unless it's a lecture hall or something.
Okay, shit. But in a regular classroom, like 20
something kids, whatever. So all them kids can't fit 20, not 6 feet apart. You're only going to have about maybe 10, 12 kids in the classroom.
In college.
Right. So, but that's their thinking. Like, we're going to do it this way. So I'm like, okay. I mean, I'm not me. No, you can't.
How is that going to work in the cafeteria and dining then? I mean, these are just little things that I think about.
How that
Recreation.
works? How that works in a dorm?
Yeah, how's that going to work in a dorm? Well, in a dorm it could work because your beds could be
how's it going
6
to work
feet
in a
apart.
dorm? You 2 people in the room. You don't know this next person.
Yeah, but you could be 6 feet away.
The beds is right next to each other.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm thinking about the size of the rooms now. True indeed. Because I'm thinking of a bigger campus where the rooms are kind of large. But no, in a regular size room, yeah, you can't do 6 feet because the room is only 6 by 9. You know what I mean? So you talk about 12 feet.
So I mean, at this point,
I don't know. College might fall, man.
I mean, I don't know what. I mean, the plan, like I've been saying, is bad leadership from the top down, and it's trickling into all the places where you see bad leadership. It's just bad leadership all around. You know, some of these colleges got good leadership, some of them don't. You know, I mean, it's going to be interesting because the states don't have a plan because they look into the feds, and the feds don't really have a plan. They can't give you no real answers because they hoping and praying on a vaccine that they can get it to people. How you going to give people a vaccine that it takes years to make, but you're talking about you can get it done in a year, in another year or two, a year or in 18 months, a year.
Is that going through the normal approval process to get it made?
First of all, the normal approval process takes at least years to get it, because there's a lot of testing that goes on.
I got questions, man.
So exactly. So if you're telling me you're going to give people a vaccine in 18 months, and people are like, we're waiting on a vaccine. What kind of stupid are you? Like, do you even know how long it takes to make a vaccine? Like, you cannot just be like, oh, I'm gonna take it. When you walk in and then drop dead.
Yeah, who says it's gonna be the vaccine for for COVID? Like, you don't know what you're taking.
You don't know what you're taking. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's trying to make a vaccine. Everybody, we got one already. How you got one already? You've been working on it for 10, 20 years? You've been working on that vaccine for 10 years?
You know what?
How does that work? Like, how do people be like lining up and say, I'm willing to test it? Okay. So they
already started testing it in Africa.
Yeah. But they testing here too.
But they volunteered though. These are volunteers.
That's what I'm saying. How do you volunteer for some shit that they just made a couple months ago? Fuck out of here. Are you fucking what kind of stupid are you? Like, that's what you had. I mean, I'm telling you, son. It's too many. It's just too many idiots running around. And
I have 2 doctors in the family, and one said there is no vaccine for this. Like, it's not coming. So that's one. And then the other one, she just became a doctor more recently. So I had made a post online, and I was talking about how genetically engineered, viruses and bacteria can cause, thrombosis, which is a blood clot, in the lungs, or, period, blood clot, period. So she had hit me like, please, I'm asking you to stop. And I said, you know what? Just because I love you, I'm going to chill. You know what I mean? Because I'm going all in now, because now, all right, you don't have a plan for the schools. You don't have a plan for the workplace. You trying to implement all of these different things. You want social distancing, but you want restaurants to open. They're not going to be fully operational if they can't fill their seating capacity to make money. Movie theaters can't make money the way that you want to have the economy get stimulated, but you got social distancing rules in place, and then now you got people. You don't have a vaccine, but you want every state open. Now you got these spikes going on, and it's making me wonder, like, how in the beginning it was like, well, everything is COVID. Like, people was dying from pneumonia, but because they had COVID, they was listing it as a COVID death, but the person actually died from pneumonia or diabetes, things of that nature, from the pre-existing conditions that they had. But because you put them on a ventilator and you getting 30-something thousand for your hospital because you put them on a ventilator and they died from pneumonia, but you said it was COVID. You know, and it's like now you got all this shit going on. How you going? If you don't have a plan in place, how you going to send the kids back? Like, fuck that. Like, you're not killing my kid. Let's say let's just say like this is a real ailment that's going on, real bacteria, because it went from a virus to now they're saying it's kind of like a germ. No, from a virus to a germ. Then one day you got to wear a mask, and another day they say, oh, you don't really need a mask, you just need a face covering. Okay, I get that part. You know, you wash your hands. Like, yeah, normal hygienic shit that you should be doing. Shouldn't be touching stuff anyway. You know, wash your hands. Then I saw something else. Like, yo, you shouldn't really use certain the hand sanitizers because of the chemicals that's in it. I'm like, well then, all right, so you wash your hands. You don't want to use hand sanitizer, that's fine. But from last time I checked in biology, like the body, the gloves, first of all, your hands are a natural shield against most diseases, you know, airborne, whatever. As long as you wash them, we have natural antibodies in the system. Then you got people wearing masks all day. I mean, all day. And you breathing in your carbon dioxide. So you weakening your immune system. But when you say that to people, well, what about social distancing? Yo, fuck a mask if you're going to be walking out and about. Like, I understand that it's going to be mandated to go into a restaurant or well, I don't know about a restaurant because how you going to eat with a mask on? That's a whole nother, see, this is what I'm saying. Like, this shit ain't adding up. It don't make sense to me. So, I don't get it no more, man.
It's like they found a new hustle for the people.
They're hustling us right now, man.
Here you go. We going to make new masks, and everybody going to wear masks, and we going to sell you them masks, and everybody... I mean, like, everybody jumped on a bandwagon and made masks. Everybody got a mask now. Everybody made a mask for the people.
How we eating in a restaurant with the mask?
But you could take the mask off in the restaurant, eat and drink. And
all right, so you 8 feet apart, right? So you 8 feet over. No, I'm saying
because I was just picking up in the spot today, and Cass is at the bar. He got the mask hanging from his ear, but he all up in his man's face, and they drinking and talking.
Right. No, I'm saying what they want you to be is 6 feet apart. But if you're in a restaurant, let's say, somebody's 8 feet away, more than the 6 feet, but a sneeze or whatever, like if it's gonna fly, it's gonna fly. It's in the air. You eating. What, like how does that make sense?
Son, they can't even wear a mask and cooking back there.
This is what I'm not. See,
how they going? Because it's so hot back there. How you going? You know what I mean?
What, I don't know. See, I'm not against masks. Like, I get it. Like, but even in the workplace though, like you're not supposed to breathe in. You're indoors. You're not. That's like being in your car for hours and have your mask on. Like, it doesn't make sense. Yo, you just goofy, man. You're in your car with a mask on. You goofy.
But I mean, people is like. If you don't have a mask on, people looking at you like you crazy.
I'm looking at them like they crazy. We out and about. It's 90 degrees. You jogging with a mask on. I'm looking at you like you crazy.
How you jogging with a mask on?
I seen it, man. I'm just telling you what I witnessed. I seen it. I'm looking at them like, yo, you're crazy. You're jogging with a mask on. Okay, I want you to know how crazy that looks to me, and I'm just shaking my head, man.
I seen a post right from Fly Tie the other day, and it was hilarious because he was like, yeah, if they told y'all the virus was 3 feet over your head and you had to crawl and walk on your hands like animals, people would do it. Other people walking and shit. They was exercising, but it was like the consensus like whatever they tell you is what you gonna do. It's like, yo, whatever they tell you is what you're gonna do. And when you talk to people who's like, I don't know what the word is, like, I guess you would say
conditioned.
Conditioned, yeah, there you go. That's a good word, conditioned. So, they're hoping and praying for a vaccine. They're hoping because everybody's in a rush. Like we want.
I know a lot of people that won't take that shit.
I know a lot of people who won't take it, but there's a lot of people that will. And they'll give it to their kids and all that. They don't, that's what they believe. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they believe, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? But you have to do your, like, if it, you know, you have to do your research on those things. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna have we're gonna do a show. We're gonna do a medical show
She has to come back on.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we're gonna do a show. Probably we're gonna probably wait about. We probably do it in about another 2 weeks or so. But we'll let you all know. But yeah, but
Z Life Wellness will be back on the show. She has to come back on.
You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna get it broken down for everybody. But end of the day, come on, like, you gotta have to use some. This is where common sense comes in, and this is what I'm talking about in today's society. That when we grew up, it was mandatory that you learned and had some type of common sense. Like, your parents pretty much was like, yo, you know, they wanted you to have common sense so you can know, like, yo, this ain't right, this ain't wrong, you can't do this. Like, you got to think for yourself. And people don't do that. People want people to think for them, and that's what they're doing for you. They're thinking for you because you're not fighting. There's no pushback. You agree with everything. Oh shit. Lock up in our cribs, buy up all the toilet paper, buy up every damn thing. Now, now you got all this toilet paper, you motherfuckers trying to bring it back, and they looking at you like you stupid. Like, get out of here with your goofy ass. That's all you. That's all you. Enjoy. You know what I'm saying?
You got all the toilet tissue, but it's food shortages, so you ain't even shitting like that.
Exactly. So, you know what I'm saying? You can only buy 2 packs of meat at that. So, So that's what I'm saying. Like, you dudes is listening to anything. Like, you gotta be mindful of your source of your information. You gotta do your own research. You got whatever works for you is what you gotta do at this point, because somebody telling you something, it's not gonna affect you, because if you're sitting at home watching CNN and Fox News and all these other news channels every damn day scaring the shit out of you, you're gonna be scared.
Fear mongering and beating you down. And fear weakens the immune system. But think about this.
But also keeping you away from people weakens your immune. So, like, when you say why the spike, people has been locked in their cribs for months.
Word.
And now they coming back outside, and all of the germs are spreading amongst each other. Got to get out amongst each other.
They got to fall. They got to fall somewhere.
So now all those people, germs is being spread, but you need germs to fight off other germs. But, you know what I'm saying? So you're going to experience a spike because people have been cooped up in their homes for months, for 2-3 months.
With weakened immune system.
Exactly. There's no time have you heard them say, if you're going to be quarantining or you're going to be in your house, whatever, making sure you building up your immune system, making sure you're doing the right thing. All they telling you is to stay away from people. They ain't telling you to build up your system. They ain't telling you to, get exercise and
exercise, get some sun.
Get some
sun. You can go out
drink
in the sun.
Lots of water.
Right.
Be on some more, get more healthy shit.
Definitely healthy. Eat healthier.
And they not telling you none of that. They just telling you they got these fools sitting around waiting on somebody like they waiting on Jesus. Now you waiting on a vaccine. You waiting for these rich motherfuckers to give you a vaccine. They got y'all waiting for us. Yeah, we got something coming for your ass.
It's crazy.
That's what they do.
But think about when we were younger. Like, we would go out and play, and we would be dirty. We go out in the dirt because your body needs to build up your immune system and the antibodies for different diseases. We were in the dirt. Your body knows how to fight off germs and bacteria. Like, now it's nothing. It's okay. Clean your hands and all that stuff. Yeah, but the stuff that they got people doing right now, like the symbolism, is crazy to me. I'm not talking about elderly people that have pre-existing conditions.
Yeah.
Yo, when you out and about, wear the mask. If you're going to be somewhere, yes, protect yourself. You know what I mean? But I'm talking about if you got to document it. I'm talking you got chronic asthma, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You got lung issues. Yeah, protect yourself. But just to be walking around, I'm jogging with my mask. I'm riding in the car with my mask.
With my windows up.
With my windows up. Like, yo, something is wrong, man. The symbolism is like you wearing a muzzle. It looks crazy to me. So, yeah, I'm looking at you crazy because I see you jogging down the street with a mask on. I see you riding in your car with the windows up with a mask on. and I'm looking at you crazy. Well, I'm in my car sometime. I'm looking at y'all. My windows is down. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking like, yo, what's up with people? Then when I see a person that has a mask, you know, like it could be around their neck or something, you know, because they're wearing it, you know, because they know they got to go in establishments. They give you the head nod like, there goes somebody that has common sense. You know, and you like it's like it causes you to be friendly. Oh, there goes somebody that has some sense. Hey, how you doing over there? Yeah, you got your mask in your pocket, don't you? Yeah. You know, you starting conversation, they looking at you. Like, okay, everybody's not muzzled. So the elderly, that's a whole different thing, man. You got pre-existing conditions, protect yourself. But understand this, the weakened immune system will come from breathing in your mask all day. It's going to happen. You can't breathe in carbon dioxide when you're supposed to let it out, and then the plants need your carbon dioxide mixed with the sun so they can go through the photosynthesis. See, we being selfish. We only thinking about us. I'm going to keep a mask on. You killing the plants right now. And if you kill the plants, then you mess with another layer of wildlife. You mess with the bees. The bees can't pollinate the flowers. You know, all of a sudden, ain't no honey, ain't no sugar. Like, you know, shit just start going downhill. You know, we talk about global warming. Like, there's so much shit in the atmosphere that you can die from, but you got people out here wearing masks that ain't really going to protect you from the things that can come in. Because, you know, everybody don't even got a mask. They got face wraps. So now it's okay to walk into a bank with a mask on.
They don't want you to really come in the bank. They want you to bank online.
Yeah, they want you to bank online.
A bank from the machine. They don't want you in the bank. They definitely don't want to see no big black man walking in there with no shit wrapped around his face. But that's why they tell you when you come inside it, they want you to pull it down.
Oh, word? You can pull it down? Oh, okay.
I mean, until you get up to the teller's booth, and then you get to the teller booth and they telling you they can't understand you. Huh? What you said? Huh?
They got a glass there.
Yeah, but you talking with this shit on your face until they tell you to pull it down so they can understand what you're saying.
Right.
Come on, man. It's like that's what I'm talking about. When you got it's just bad leadership. At the end of the day, it's just bad leadership. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got a lot of propaganda. You got a lot of fear mongering. I mean, everybody's getting rich off of this shit, and the peons and just sitting there collecting it up and scared of everything, scared of their own shadow. You know,
if you want to help yourself, if you want to do one thing that you can do to really help yourself and get away from the fear that's being pushed on TV, don't watch it. Read a book. Do some activities. You know, get your mind right. Like, you can't watch TV all day because it's going to be contradictory information, and they're still trying to scare you with this or that. Like, it's propaganda. I'm not talking about the virus. I'm talking about in general. We're talking about propaganda.
They don't know.
The TV.
They don't know what the fuck is. Like, 1 week for 2 weeks straight they showed you putting bodies in fucking meat lockers, frozen meat lockers, and leaving them out in front of fucking cemetery grounds on the floors and shit. Like, we can't bury them. All this shit.
Bird.
All that shit they was doing.
I remember that. That was early in the game. Yeah.
It's like all these people, you know. Then you start seeing, like, I was watching a clip or some in news, and it was in where was it? I think it was Brazil. It was one of them South American countries. It was Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Brazil, and he said, like, I guess the doctor out there in the hospital said he had like 2,000 dead patients, and he had nowhere to move them, and then he had all these, like, another maybe whatever, say like 800 people sick still in the hospital, and he don't have no equipment. He need all this medical equipment and all this stuff. So they did a surprise visit on them motherfuckers. I guess their form, what they call the Congress.
Right.
Did a surprise visit on the Parliament or something, whatever they call it. They did a surprise visit to the hospital. They go with the military, go in, They got masks on, pulling in shit. The hospital people like, no, they didn't know who they was at first. They looked like, and they told them, well, we government officials and but the military, get out of our way. So they come in, pulling back curtains, place empty. Ain't nobody in there dead. Pulling back more curtains.
Wow.
He like to the point where whoever he must have been the head dude in charge. And he's like basically telling him. We're asking him, where the fuck is the bodies at? Where all these people that you said were sick? Son, you know the doctor took off running?
What?
Took off running.
Where's he going?
I don't know, son.
Oh,
he took off running because they called it, they a lie. It was a lie. You know, but you seen the reports that it was all these spikes in all these places in these countries, and so they took it upon themselves to go there and see, you know what I'm saying, you need the help, what we want to see, and so we can get these people help. They get there, there's nothing there. There's people nurses and doctors standing around, twiddling their thumbs. Got a couple patients on the bed. But you want millions you asking them to send you all this equipment on blind faith, because that's what you said. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
It's a lot of shit that's what I'm saying.
That's crazy.
It's a lot of shit. And that was just in another country. Just imagine they was doing the same shit right here.
Right. Well, did you hear about the story here in New York? The dude that was hoarding the ventilators?
Yeah.
The feds ran up in his spot. Like, yo, how you hoarding the ventilators?
They man, he was like, he talking about, I didn't know it was a crime. Yeah, it is, because it's a pandemic. And they like, yeah, it's an emergency, it's a crisis in the country. And you hoarding it, and we need them. So you going to jail.
Word.
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, this is the same shit. That's why they was locking people, they locked up 2 brothers for buying like $6,000 worth of tissue. Buying 6,000.
Yo, that's crazy, man.
Buying up all
so what were they doing? Reselling it?
On eBay for like $40 a roll.
$40 a roll.
Son,
my God.
When tissue was at an all-time low, man, you go on eBay a roll. They was selling that shit from anywhere from 20 and up a roll. You was like, what? I was like, man.
Now it makes sense. When I went to the post office during that time, actually, it wasn't a post office. I went to UPS, and I was shipping out stuff. And they asked me, they asked you what you were shipping out. I said, well, do you have any toiletries or things of that nature you shipping? I said, nah. I was looking at them like, why would I? Now it makes sense. Because if I did, it'd be like, well, why are you shipping this shit out? You know what I'm saying? Like, they asking you, they got to ask. Because they asking you about chemicals and, I forgot what they call it, though, when you send in a hazardous materials. Yeah, do you have hazmat material? Nah. What about, toiletries or anything like that? It's like, toiletries? I was like, no. But now I understand, because people was taking advantage of the situation and, selling tissue and stuff like that, like paper towels, like. And in the hood, like, I'll be honest with you, and the bodegas was stacked. Like, they had tissue. You know what I mean? Like, that's why when we had talked about that one time, like, yo, how y'all looking? I said, the supermarket is running low, but the bodegas got tissue. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was kind of crazy to me, now that I think about it. But all that to say, it's a lot of fear tactics and fear mongering. Yo, did you hear the story? Did you hear about this story? That, because you know how New York City, a lot of people don't know the history of the New York City subway tunnels, because it goes down, it's like 7 layers. Like, there are layers below the subway. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So they actually have people that actually live down there. Like that's where they live, But they was talking, I heard this story about there being well, we know that there's a child trafficking ring that goes on, but they was actually rescued some of these children that was down in Central Park, underneath Central Park, but layers down, way beneath the subway. And they set up these tents in Central Park. It was supposed to be for the COVID, because COVID was going crazy, so everybody thought that they were setting up these tents for the COVID, when in reality, from what I heard, is that they was rescuing children that was being trafficked underground because they had exposed one of their tunnels. And they was the special forces had came in, because I remember when they came to New York City, because they were supposed to be helping out with the pandemic. That's what the media told you. Yeah, they got the, you know, special forces came in. They're gonna set up all these tents, and they're in Central Park, and they was, you know, and there was tents in Central Park, but it was covered. You couldn't see. It was like, you know, white tents, and that's what I heard. That's what really took place in Central Park. It's crazy as that sound. It ain't as far fetched as you think.
I remember the tents. I seen pictures. I was like, I remember they were showing the Prospect Park, and they had all these tents lined up.
They had them in Central Park, definitely, because that's where the story said that's where they got the babies out from there. You know, a lot of them died because, you know, they've been underground the whole time. You know, like just underneath, you know, underneath the subway level. Anybody that studies urban planning, they would know about the tunnels that are underground. They have tunnels that go from, you know, like underneath. Like, I'm just using the White House for example. Like, they have tunnels that go from D.C. to California. Like, this is not made up shit. Like, there are tunnels that have that. They have the technology now that where they can dig tunnels the size of the damn tunnels. Like, you got to really think about it. Like, look how big the Holland Tunnel is. Like, you ride it from Jersey to New York, you don't even think about it. Like, damn, how they made this shit? Well, yeah, why don't you think about?
They got the same type of shit when you come in, when you in Maryland, when you go.
This is what I'm saying. When you coming through the Gurney, right, or Bernie something tunnel, right?
Yeah, some shit.
Yeah, like, so when you think about how they making these tunnels that go underneath the water, you know, you got to start really using your brain and be like, yo, the technology does exist. You don't think that somebody. Yeah, I mean, come on, like they burrowing underground. Like, there's tunnels that lead everywhere. That's why they couldn't catch the Mexican cartels. They got tunnels, and you putting up walls. Come on, man.
That wall shit was propaganda shit.
That was propaganda too.
That shit was like, that was that shit to rile up white people, to make them feel like he was doing something. Like he was stopping something, and meanwhile he wasn't really stopping shit. It was all a play on your emotions to rile you up. Oh,
he riled people up.
I'm making America great again. I'm gonna put a wall up. Man, them motherfuckers is laughing at you like
they definitely laughing because they got tunnels.
Go ahead, put that shit up.
Yo, that shit's crazy, man.
Yeah,
they actually have like with train cars and motorcycles. Like, they have cities underground, man. It's like the technology that is available that is not for general public use is wicked, man. Like, you could use it for good, you could use it for bad, but they just when you see movies and they show you like this underground, these big ass computer systems set up underground and network. Why you think they always digging around your way? Con Ed always digging up, you know, repairing this line, repairing that line. They got lines that go way deep. It's way deeper than people wanna even imagine. You know, nobody wants to think about it. Like 5G. Yeah, I mean, like, yo, there are countries that are using 7G right now. So don't be walking around thinking that 5G is going to kill you. It's not about, even though it can, you know what I'm saying? But it's not about that. We live in a surveillance world. This is about surveillance. And when you brought up the whole, you know, when you stop at the light, there's a camera in there. Yeah, people don't understand that. Like, there is.
Yeah.
There is a camera in there. There's a camera everywhere.
But now they don't even put the cameras in there. They
don't need that.
All they do is put the camera on the motherfucking on top of the light now, because those cameras can see your face and get a recognition and pull up your license or who you are.
Or they definitely can see them. They pull up the license real nice, you know. And if they want to zoom into your car, they can.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So it's you know, everywhere is on video. They got people with the cameras in their hand for surveillance, because people tape everything. Like, I mean, people walking around thinking, you know, some shit. They tape everything.
So when they gonna catch people doing shit?
Son, they catch you. I mean, listen.
They catch you after the fact, you know. But
yeah, because like remember the Aaron Hernandez shit.
Yeah.
Remember Aaron Hernandez shit, the football player.
Yeah.
And what they use, satellite imagery. and
True.
and use the satellite imagery to say that there was people in this area at
In the
this
house.
time. They couldn't know that where the dude got where they dropped the body
yeah.
off.
When they dropped
You know
the
what I'm
body
saying?
off.
Yeah,
Right.
they used imagery to say a car was pulled up at this spot, and this is where the body was. You know what I'm saying? They knew people was from the imagery. They couldn't say who it was, but I'm sure they seen them. But they know they couldn't say that. All they could say was that they knew that these people was in, that there was certain people in this area at this time. It was like 3 people.
And they knew who they were. They
and
just couldn't release it to the media.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
they knew who it was, and because then they showed the imagery showed a car which looked like his. So, I mean, they know. You know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing. If they want to solve it, they'll solve it. If they don't want to solve it, then they got reasons why they don't want to. It's
so
not
I guess we'll never. That's why they'll never know who killed Tupac and Biggie. Then
it's not. It doesn't serve their interest to tell you who did that. They know who did it. You know what I'm saying? Streets know who did it.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem with it is about who did it. It's about who paid them to do it.
Yeah, true.
You feel what I'm saying?
I feel
they
you.
Can't get that info. They don't want that information out.
Yeah.
Because those people got ties to law enforcement or was working
for
law
deep.
enforcement.
It's very deep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it goes. That's what I'm saying. Like they have. It don't serve their purpose to tell you who did that. You know what I'm saying? It don't work in their favor to say, well, because the night Big got killed, there was FBI was there, DEA was there, Secret Service was there, because they was tracing, they was following them, thinking that they had
yep.
You know, Secret Service follow you when they think you got that money, when you got that
counterfeit
money, that counterfeit bread.
No doubt.
So it was a whole bunch of alphabet people out there.
He got killed on a block where there was federal agencies there. Like that,
exactly.
that shit didn't add up, man. But you know,
Tupac got killed on a strip.
Word.
You know what I'm saying?
Word.
So, and then all of a sudden, you know, things start happening to the people around who was dead. You know what I mean? If you was dead, especially with the Tupac situation, a lot of people wound up
dead. Well, look at any situation where where the truth is gonna be unearthed. Just like in Ferguson, Missouri, all those activists that ended up dead. You know what I'm saying? Like they out there, they protesting, they just mysteriously was getting murdered. Like
just like all these brothers hanging themselves.
You can't hang. First of all, let's talk about you can't hang yourself. You can't. It's not physically possible for you to hang you. You can't. I mean, and even psychologically, from a psychological standpoint, it's hard for you to stab yourself. You can't do it.
Some people do stab themselves.
I know, but I'm talking about the psychological part of it. Like, it's not a normal thing. So I'm just saying, like, stabbing yourself, like, you definitely can't hang yourself. So who
hang themselves?
Yeah, how? Who were they hanging themselves? How? I'm talking about from a tree.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about the dude was hanging from a tree.
5 of them.
Like, how does that happen? How do you do that? Climb the tree. Okay, tie the noose around the tree. Sit up there. Damn, that's a lot. Nobody saw that shit? Come on, man. Like, you know, we get on ladder. All right, so where's the ladder?
There's nothing to show how, you know, I mean.
No, okay, so, I mean, damn, at least, you know, show us where the person climbed the tree then. You know, well, his footprints on the tree, he went up there and something. Like, don't just give us a news report, oh, the person, he committed suicide.
I mean, but
Come on, man.
Once again, it's sensationalism. It's showing dead bodies of black men.
Yeah.
Making, you know, it's more scare tactics. Yeah, you know, it's the same thing what they did to all the great leaders. They killed all of them to make sure the future generation know that we'll kill you if you get out of line. That's like the new shit where Sean King just posted some shit.
Yeah, did you see that? Yeah.
Police.
Did he say private police?
It was a private police group on Facebook.
Private police group. What does that mean?
Like it's a private group that anybody can't get. Like how I
Oh, you mean and then okay, so it was a police group that's a private to get.
yeah.
Okay,
Like you
I get
had
it.
to
I get
know,
it.
So
Yeah.
so then basically they're in there talking about how they we need to strap up, start killing all these Black Lives Matter protesters, and then let's start with Shaun King.
Oh shit.
Shit like that, and then one person is like, yeah, set it up. I'm with it. I'll be there. We may be old, but my hand is steady. They saying shit like that, and
So how does that? So now is that not like a hate group? Why did they get banned? You know what I'm saying? Like you talking about killing somebody online, and come on, man. Like this is ridiculous.
That's what I'm like. That's what I'm saying. So it's like
it's not a joke either.
So exactly. So because they're sitting here laying out a plot. Like
they're dead serious.
How bright are you to do that on a Facebook page? Let's not. But so somebody in there takes it. This is the thing about today's era. Like, yeah, you can let somebody in, but just because you let them in don't mean they agree with your shit. That don't mean they're not gonna take pictures of your shit. And somebody was obviously in there, was disturbed by it, and sent him the whole shit. I
would have been disturbed reading that y'all want to kill protesters. We live in a sad world, man.
It's sad. It's sick. Everything is just, you know what I'm saying, and the way how people think.
You think it's tied to him saying that he want to take down the Jesus statues?
I mean I'm sure those are like, I'm pretty sure some of them are like white Christians, so I'm sure that offended them. I mean, but when people you got people that like him and people that don't like him, you know what I'm saying? They say
they start digging into his background and
whatever.
Yeah,
but
they
problem,
yeah.
But the thing about it is, anytime you advocate for something that goes against the law, or proving points that show that they've been corrupt or that they have been mistreating the people that got to deal with injustice or inequality, that's when everybody gets mad, because everybody just wanted to stay the same and beat the shit out of black people and use black people and kill them. And and then when they stand up and basically take a stand for themselves and start rebelling back and fighting back, everybody's offended. Everybody's offended now. Why? All lives matter, or we're all not, there's not all bad cops, and I'm like,
okay,
where's the good cops at? Because I don't see too many of them. I'm like, where the good cops at? Because these dudes out here, every day you get on Facebook, you can get on any social media, any YouTube, anywhere, and put in police brutality. You'll see millions of clips.
A whole lot of stuff pop up. They do.
You see millions of clips. I mean, they got little sites that just show people taping themselves, and it's white, black, Hispanic. It don't matter. They all
I think
being
that's done on
up.
purpose. That's all part of the propaganda too.
And they all getting choked out and beat.
Yeah, they don't discriminate.
Exactly.
Brutality is brutality.
If you don't do what they tell you to do, and if you don't know the law to ease them off of you, they
definitely need to know the law.
Because the bottom line is they don't know the fucking law.
A lot of them don't.
They only know what they know what the penal code shit is, but they don't know literally the law. Because when you
they're
start
enforcing
law,
policy, which is not law. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like, if you don't give me your ID, I'm going to lock you up. Huh?
I'm not required to give you my ID without reasonable suspicion. I don't need to identify myself unless I'm being detained.
Exactly.
Am I being detained? Yes or no? So once you ask those questions, it's like, well, I am detaining you. Okay, for what? Do you have reasonable suspicion to detain me? And if you do, what is your suspicion based on? So these are questions that you have to ask without being, you don't have to be belligerent. You don't have to make them feel stupid or anything. And you don't have to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Confrontational. You don't have to be confrontational. You're just like, well, for what? What's the reasonable suspicion based on? Because I remember when the standard got lowered from reasonable doubt to reasonable suspicion in terms of stopping somebody. You know.
Yeah.
You know, I remember when it got lower, and I'm like, well, why would they do that?
Well, I mean, you grew. I mean, going to. I remember always being in class and being that we went to criminal justice college.
Best decision we made in our lives.
And the first day, I mean, I remember. I forgot what it was. I was in. What class was that? It had to be
probably criminal justice 101 or that or criminal law or constitutional law. That's what it was.
But it was like, you know, you don't have ID. That you could get locked up for not having ID if you're over 18 years of age.
Right.
Because that you could. I mean, when they say locked up, it's like they take you in, right, with summons for loitering because you don't have no
vagrancy.
Vagrancy because you don't have no ID on you. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to remember back in the day, people wasn't walking around with no state IDs. My brothers walking around with college IDs.
College IDs, right.
So
it's part of the money system. You know, you want to write a ticket so you could get some money, generate money for the system. You know.
So it's like,
I get it.
So now, I need your ID. You know, know who you are and all this. And immediately, I got to protect myself, so I got to put you in cuffs.
Right. But you can't, but you can't cuff me unless I'm being detained, and I had to have committed a crime for you to detain me.
No, it's for their safety now.
You can't cuff me unless I'm being detained.
But this is the issue. This is the issue. You know, I mean, so many violations are going on.
Yeah, multiple
violations are
That's
going
crazy.
on of people's rights and all kind of things. And when the people decide to push back, police get mad.
So then that's what I can see why the lawsuit.
Y'all treating us like this. Fuck lawsuits is like, I mean.
I can see why they're going up now, the lawsuits. I mean, if you're just blatantly violating people's
look at
liberties.
the young boy they killed in Jersey.
I saw that, but I saw the whole film. I saw some agitation on his part too.
I mean, he didn't look. I don't know.
But I did get some backstory. He had a mental illness,
exactly,
right?
So,
and that officer knew the history of his mental illness because they had an interaction before. That's why that officer got fired, because you knew what his mental state was, and you overreacted to what he was doing. See, this is where policing really comes in. Like, you choking out a person who you had already had dealings with them. You don't have to do that. But they're not properly trained to make any type of assessment.
Son,
it's crazy, man.
You can't say you're going to hire somebody at whatever it is, the 18 to 20, whatever it is, to become police, like and put them on the streets and put them in the most violent neighborhoods because they first of all, 90% of them have never seen anything like this before. You know, and to come to that, so it's in your best interest to have your own policing your own, because at least they can build a rapport. They know the area, they know the people, and so forth. So I mean, sometimes it don't even work that way because they gonna you get black police that just want to show they down. I'm true to the blue, and they gonna beat your ass too. Like, and you seen that. But then you hear black police want you to feel sorry for them. Like, yo, we get discriminated against too, and they don't promote us, and we supposed to cry for you, bro.
Right, I can't. Like, that's the job choice. You made that job choice, so
it's not even a job choice, though. It's because,
so then what is so what you want me to play the violins for?
It's like, exactly. I mean, what you want us to play the violins for is. Like, you're trying to say, you're
trying to connect with me as a human being and say, I get discriminated against on my job, I don't get promoted. Okay, bro. All right, I feel you.
So I mean, it's like
you gotta laugh, man.
It's like it's just crazy because you keep hearing it, there's good police, but
yeah, there are. I believe. I know that. I mean, that's fine. There are.
I mean, they may be all right.
I got a couple of my family. I mean, but you're talking about 35,000 police here.
But what I'm saying, though, you saying it's good police, right? And
Right.
if your job is to obey and uphold the law, and you know there's people in your department or whatever planting guns, killing people, and all of
Absolutely.
that shit, but you're not arresting them. You're not
How do you
making
not? Yeah,
cases.
you got to change the culture. So,
So once
the
again,
onus is on the good cops to change the
exactly.
culture.
So
It is.
you want, because their spew is they'll come to the hood and tell the people, yo, we know you not criminals. Yo, just tell us what you seen. Da-da-da. But you don't tell on your own. So how you expect them to? How you gonna build trust with people and you ain't willing to tell on your own, but you want them to tell on their own?
Right. Right.
Y'all
Because
doing the same shit that
community
motherfuckers.
dynamics works that way. That's right.
But
Right.
you got police doing the same shit that motherfuckers on the street doing, killing
Yeah.
and selling drugs. They doing the same shit.
True.
They doing the same shit. But you ain't out there. You ain't telling on them. So how can we believe you a good cop?
Mm-hmm.
Because a good cop arrests bad cops.
You would think so.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, like
right?
that's how it's supposed to be. Absolutely.
So that's like good citizens arresting a criminal. It's a citizen's arrest, right?
Absolutely.
They don't do that, and that's the same reason why other people do this. What they do the same shit that people that's innocent in those neighborhoods do. Mind their damn business.
Mm-hmm.
Mind their damn business. Yeah, I ain't getting.
Well, you have
to
build. If you don't build a rapport with the community, you're not going to get anything solved. So now, you also can't be in the community as an oppressor. So this is where, when they took out community policing, they really fucked up the game, because I'm saying, combined with this, the Black Panthers would not have existed had there not been so much police brutality in Oakland. You know what I'm saying? But it came to the point where they like, yo, we got to defend our neighborhood. So they had some educated brothers, knew the law, started taking care of their community. They legally strapped up their arm, like, yo, y'all got to get up out of here. We got this, because you can carry. And unfortunately, you know how they do, man. If it's us leading the charge, you can't have niggas doing shit. They just gonna try to kill us. And to have our children growing up in a society like this, they're the ones that have to turn it around. We the ones that have to hold it down, to bridge that gap between the youth who are not really. You have to be conditioned to be that way. So for every person that's growing up normal, like, all right, well, I'm not going to think about race or things of that nature. You got somebody that's growing up being raised a Manchurian candidate or a Klansman. So, it's kind of crazy out here. So, people put on very good fronts. Your teacher, your favorite teacher, could be a racist, but will teach for you. They'll teach you because, they know the whole goal of the system is to dumb you down anyway. Like, they've been doing it for generations.
They're raised, but they do other things with the show.
Mm-hmm.
They'll hold a smart black student back.
I've seen that.
They won't recommend that student for AP or honors class. They'll go represent. They'll put someone else ahead of them and say, no, but you're a 90 student. I've seen that happen to my own kids.
No doubt.
And we've had to, when my wife has had to go fight for that shit. Like, what? Pop. This is a 90 student right here. What are you talking about? We need that. We need that class.
Let me tell you something, bro.
But that's the thing. If you don't stand up for your own,
you have to stand up.
If you don't stand up for them, and let it go,
they'll just keep taking advantage of you.
Exactly.
They will.
They're going to keep saying, oh, you missed this and you missed that, and this is the reason why, but you got to call them on their shit. And and they do all the things to keep you out. Oh, no, you can't go to this school because you ain't zoned for this shit. And we're not going to transfer you here because I remember it was like my 11th grade. I was at NAS. That's a high school in Brooklyn. And I was like, man, I don't, you know, I was like, I didn't want to go back. And man, I was trying to go to James Madison.
Oh yeah, okay, true.
Right?
Yeah.
And so son, they fought you tooth and nail not to let you in there.
Madison is culturally like mostly a Caucasian school.
But you know, we was in there deep.
No doubt, you are in that deal. I'm talking about the neighborhood though. Like
the neighborhood,
neighborhood. They zoned it out to where they want their kids in there, not.
Yeah, but
they don't want East Flatbush kids in there, even though the shit is in Flatbush.
Exactly,
you know
exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No, you go to Wingate, you go to Erasmus, you go to Tilden. You can't come out here. And and you know what I'm saying? But this is how they keep you out. It's how they keep you, and they don't want to, you know, the same thing. I mean, if you look at it, it's the same shit as they still ain't trying to educate you. You could read, but if you don't have people encouraging you to read, then you ain't gonna know this. You ain't gonna know shit because they not encouraging you to do that shit. They've got you in schools where the books is fucked up, ripped in half, old as shit.
Yeah.
You know, the material is outdated. They done made you got volume 3. They up to volume 10.
No doubt.
I remember because I was in NAS and we had a textbook, and my man was at Eastern Transit. He had the same textbook, but his shit was like 5 volumes less than mine.
No doubt.
Like he was on volume, like I said, he was on volume 3. I probably go volume 8.
No doubt.
Of the book. Of the textbook, new shit, crisp book.
I've been through that. I was teaching when that stuff happened. I made them buy books. So, you know what I mean? Like it happens.
That's the shit that happens, and these are the things. That's why I was saying last time was that our shit is deep. So our agenda is going to be deep, and our demands is going to be deep because we got a lot of shit going on. You know, but the problem is we mad divided. Over here, you got people like ADOS fighting for reparations.
Right.
Then you got the educated Negroes who's like, pull yourself up by your bootstrap. We don't want nothing to do with that. We made it, you can make it. I lived in the hood and I got it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then you got, then you got the other motherfuckers who's like, their demands is totally different. Their demands may be they just want better education, or then you got we just want law enforcement. We want reform in the law enforcement. So it's like all kind of demands. You got economic demands because now you ain't getting enough. There's not enough equal pay. There's not enough jobs.
And that's blanket. That's just a blanket thing.
Yeah, that's just
we ain't even dealing with gender issues and
exactly. So
like for real, inequality for real.
You know what I'm saying? Then you got education issues. You got all kind of issues amongst us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Then when you get deeper in, and it's just us, we got our own personal shit going on amongst our own. They call African Americans, African Americans, and they don't like the Caribbean people. They don't like European motherfuckers, and they don't like Africans, and it's vice versa. Africans don't like them, so forth, right?
Right.
So,
right.
So everybody broke up in a different set, saying, "Well, we want reparations, but we only want it for this group." There's nowhere on this planet the black man has not been fucking mistreated.
Wait, hold on. First of all, first of all, it's a global issue. So
exactly. There's no place on this world. There's no place on this planet that the black man hasn't been mistreated.
That's everywhere. Every country. Every continent.
Go to whether you're in Australia and it's the Aborigines.
Mm-hmm.
If it's in Africa, they've been mistreated over there. Mm-hmm. European colonization robbed them all their minerals.
Asia,
Asia.
Yeah.
Europe.
Absolutely.
Caribbean. You go anywhere. In America, right here. In the corporation, right here.
Yep.
They've been mistreated. So when you start dividing, instead of saying we all need to come together and go to the World Court and say, look, this is it.
Wow, World Court, there it is.
And say, hey, these are our demands. Because for over these amount of years, you motherfuckers been eating. You know, it's sort of like the King of New York shit when Frank Wright told the motherfucker, yeah, I've been gone. You've been getting fat while I was gone. You've been eating good.
Word.
Now all that shit got changed. If a nickel getting made in the park, I want in. You motherfuckers owe us. You understand what I'm saying?
True. That's true to reality.
You owe us. Like, fuck that.
No doubt.
Not just, you don't just owe motherfuckers here in America. You owe motherfuckers in the Caribbean, because all you motherfuckers are tied together. You can't separate England from America.
Absolutely not.
So England is the one. England and the other, and France.
That's the main colonizer.
And Portuguese and all these other motherfuckers that colonized in the Caribbean and had slaves, and some of them still have ownership over these countries, and treated them bad, and still in places like Haiti that's still paying France for shit. Come on, man. You can't separate.
And they're free.
But you can't separate this shit, bro. That's the problem. You get on there, all you see these people, you know, yo, I get it. If you want to, I get why the people, when you say, you know, the ADOS people say, well, you know, you 10 generations in, we American. Yeah, okay, I dig it. Yeah, you do, because you know you can't find nowhere in your lineage that takes you back to Africa.
You know, you got to go way longer. You know how much history you got to dig through before you get to Africa? Come on.
Exactly. So I get that. So this is your country as much as it is. But if the first thing you're going to do here, then you got to establish a name, a nationality for yourself in this land.
It can't be African American. That's
exactly. It cannot be that.
That's a misnomer for real.
It can't be black.
It can't be black because that's not a location.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So what is it going to be?
Well, the last group that was officially here, you know, in terms of an empire, would be the Moors. So, but everybody don't want to do that. The Moors went everywhere. So
they went everywhere.
Who were the Moors? The Moors were us.
They were the travelers.
We went everywhere. The melanated man is everywhere because we are everywhere. Everywhere is us. Even the people that walk around calling themselves white and Caucasian, they just a mutation of us. Like when you give out science facts, you silence the room. Like, yo, we predated y'all. Your species that was in the Caucasoid Mountains, y'all, that was us. And y'all was just up there. It was just a group of us went up there and stayed there and mutated, and this is what happened. And you civilized. This is all it is. That's why we all one nation in reality. But you can't teach that because you already have divisions all over the place.
There's
no money in that.
There's no money in it. And then if you do that, and then you have to understand that all your lives will be unearthed. Like it'd be, then you would have to tell the truth. You would have to tell the truth what happened and what you were civilized. That's why when you still hear, you know, like you can't believe in a system that still celebrates Christopher Columbus Day.
True.
How can you believe in a system like that? You can't believe in a system that still celebrates Thanksgiving, Black Friday.
Oh, I don't know where the hell that came from, but the Black Friday. Yeah.
Christmas, Easter. Right?
The whole premise of Easter is wrong.
Exactly. So you can't believe in that system. You can't believe in that shit because all they do is sell you shit. It's just a sell. They're just selling you shit, right? So here, that's what I'm saying. When we saying we divided and we so divided that we much stronger. When we gotta put our differences aside and say it's bigger than that shit. We all one because at the end of the day, you all fighting against the same enemy. You're fighting against the same enemy, but you fighting on separate battlefields, so they can beat you because you ain't got enough power and enough, and ain't organized well enough to come at them. So you have to be united. If you're not united, then how you gonna win that battle? When you over here talking about I hate African people, and African people over there calling you cotton pickers. And, and then you got Caribbean people feel a way about American people, and then the same vibe. It's
been a lot of division. There has been definitely been a lot of division. It's crazy.
It's a lot of division that they've created, and sit back and watch and playing us like puppets on strings.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
And we contribute to it because a lot of us,
we feed
into it, especially in our younger years, until you wake up. Like, remember, your first first 24 years of your life is not even yours, man. You're like 24 years old. In reality, you're like 6. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just start waking up to this is post-indoctrination, because you've been indoctrinated your whole childhood until you start seeing things for yourself. You got to let your own mind develop. Like, wow, you know what? School, I didn't learn this in school. Because I hear that a lot, as I talk to different people.
I think
I'm getting that now.
I don't think that's too long. I can't say the same.
How long you think you before you woke up?
I mean, I grew up.
Well, we grew up differently, but
exactly, we grew up in the urban.
We grew up reading,
right?
So.
Reading. The thing about growing up in the hood is there was a lot of things going on. You know what I'm saying?
At one time.
And you got a lot of information. You had the 5 percenters.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't one, but I knew a lot of them. I understood, and you know what I'm saying, and the lessons and the knowledge and all that shit they gave. I was always that person. I read they.
We had division within that too. I can tell you that.
There's always division.
I can tell you right now. You had the people that got the knowledge, right? We all build, but then there was people that was religiously indoctrinated within that. I'm like, yo, I don't need to go to the mosque, bro. Like, we just build on today's mathematics. I'm good. Like, I don't need to go do that. And there used to be in-house things.
But what I'm saying is to you, they was in the hood, so and you would hear as a youngin, you would hear the gods and the earths and all them build.
No doubt.
And as a shorty, they give you some knowledge. So that's in you already. So when they start giving that information to you, you don't understand it at that point, but now you start getting older. So then as you get older, you encounter the nation.
Right,
and then you start getting more information on other things. So now your horizon open, and me being, my family being all Jamaican, coming up under Marcus Garvey. A lot of my family was Garveyites.
No doubt.
Like that. So I understood that too. So it was like a lot of information.
That was powerful, actually.
As a youngin, that I was already in scene. So by the time I was like 16, 17, I was already like, going, and then I was going to private Catholic school. I was in there like, man.
That was a whole different fight.
Exactly. So I'm in there like, man.
I was in there kind of socially. I think I was kind of, I don't know. I was kind of different in Catholic school because I knew a lot of information already entering, and I wasn't trying to hear certain things.
Yeah,
so I was in detention a lot. Let's just say that.
Yeah, I was in there, and you had you had a lot of shit. The information they gave you, because they were teaching you on religion, and then they was in history. So those classes, I excelled in because I always confronted them on those issues, on certain things like that.
Absolutely.
Shit I knew, like you know what I'm saying, asking questions like, yo, what about this person in history? Because I knew about it. Because that's what my family, my moms, and learning from my uncles and all, that's what they taught me.
No doubt.
Like that, like understand, like this ain't that real. This shit ain't real. So, and they couldn't. They was like, all right, You know, I was one of those students where I wasn't like an A-B student. I was more like a B-C student because I wasn't really applying myself to this shit because I was like, man, fuck
This
this
is
shit.
bullshit. Yeah.
This is some bullshit. I
Exactly.
ain't got time. I don't want to learn this shit. Like, I already know how to read, comprehend, all that shit.
I can write. Yep.
I can write. I don't, you know what I mean? At this point, I'm ready to move on. Like,
I can give you an A+ paper, but for school, I'm gonna give you a B-. I was coasting
I'm
like
trying
that.
to get by. I was just trying to coast.
Yeah, I was getting by.
Because I felt like I had, you know, I just felt that school wasn't going to make me because of what I already knew. That's how I felt.
Right.
You know, going to college was something that your parents really instilled in you because that's what they wanted you to do. Now I got to college, it was, you know, it was pretty much the same thing. It's like you repeating this. I'm like, motherfucker, I learned this in high school. I thought we were supposed to get more than this. Where the rest?
Yeah, I used to be beefing in college, my freshman courses. Like, yo, I just took this for 12 years.
Exactly. So I'm like, why are we doing? You know, this is your first year. I'm like, yeah, that's good, but I already learned this shit. I'm like, I don't want to learn it again. I'm like, you know what I mean? So then you had to go through all that shit, wasting your money and paying for that shit, or whatever the case may be.
No doubt.
But the point is that, you know, the way the system is, it's just a way to suck money out of you. So when they sucking this money out of you, and you're not learning all you're doing is learning shit in cycles, and they may add on a few other things.
Mm.
But by 24. Shit, I was like, by 24, the only difference there for me was I started to understand what family was and
right. There we go.
You understand what I'm saying?
I should have clarified that. Yeah.
I started to understand, like, okay, yeah, you got people in your family. Yeah, y'all got the same last name, but is them motherfuckers really your family?
Well, you got relatives and you have family.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So, it's like a relative is damn near like an associate, an acquaintance. You know what I'm saying? A family member is somebody who you see and they talk to you on the regular. You know, a relative is somebody you may see here and there. And you may. I live in Brooklyn. I live all over, son. I done been places where I had relatives at and seen them in the street, and I ain't never talked to them motherfuckers.
Well, the difference between it, even when you break it down, you know, just on the most basic word language angle, you know, relative is just relate. Like, okay, you could relate. Family is like familiar. Like, you know what I'm going through because it's familiar to you. Relate is like, oh, well, okay, I know what you mean. You know, yeah, there's poor people that live over there, but, you know, I never went over there on that side of town. Okay, like when I tell people, like, yo, New York City is the most segregated school system in the nation.
But it's not even.
It's in the nation. I'm saying in general.
Segregated. Period.
It's segregated. When I say I grew up, you know, I grew up around Spanish speaking and Caribbean. That's it. In my neighborhoods, wherever I lived, there wasn't that many Caucasian white people. They weren't in my class. It wasn't like that. It's just so I can go into my 20s, and the first time that I actually had more than, like, in my class, like in college, that's it. Like, I had Caucasians in there, and it's like, well, you know, how was you taught the thing? You learn a lot when you sit in a college classroom because you got people from different walks of life who are ignorant to each other.
Well, see, my experience was different.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in Staten Island.
That's different.
I did my
Staten Island is like,
I did my elementary years in Staten Island.
Yeah.
So I was going to school where it was only about 5-6 black kids in the private class.
You had the other one. You had the other.
Then you going back home to the projects.
No doubt.
So that shit, like, people was like, well, you went to a private school, so I'm like, yeah, but I was going back home to the hood. So that shit meant nothing to me going to that private school.
It word. Because culturally, that I wasn't part of the school culture.
Exactly. So
word.
I was, you know what I'm saying, I was going back home to the hood. You know what I'm saying? And basically still learning how to survive there. So
you got to survive on multiple fronts. I mean, that's what we have to deal with. Yeah.
So so you know, I had encounters with white people from young, and then you gotta remember to, you know, most of the time, a lot of times Jamaican, Caribbean people, or I'm gonna say Jamaican people, which is for me, you know, their encounters of racism is totally different, because they mainly grew up with nothing but it's black people. It's just black people.
Right.
Then you start seeing, you know, unless you go to the tourist side, then you'll see, you know, mixed white Jamaicans or white Jamaicans, and you'll see white Asians, Chinese.
True.
You know what I'm saying? But you'll see Chinese, and you'll see you know, Indian in the hoods, but that's all it was. They didn't have that. Their encounter racism was that they knew that the England was racist towards them, you know, until they got their independence, and then it was like, you know. But as far as like independent, as far as, you know, being somewhere and running and saying, you know, like how going to school in Staten Island and being chased home by white kids with bats talking about, we gonna crack your head, nigga, it's totally different. Like, that's not that. They not used to it. They was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, most people, well, they don't even understand that part of the dynamic. Like, yeah, we're in an urban city, but we're experiencing rural issues in terms of, you know, racism and being attacked. Like, we lived that already. You know, people dying on highways, running from a mob. You know, like, you know, Yusef Hawkins, like different people, man. Michael Griffith, like these are just names.
Yeah, these are shit.
These are names now, like, but you know that shit happened.
Yeah,
you in the wrong neighborhood at the wrong time of the day, and on foot.
And growing up, we knew, like, yo, don't bring your ass to Bensonhurst. Yo, don't take your ass down, you know, over there, or this part of Brooklyn, or this part of Staten Island, this part of Queens.
And you know what? They respected our neighborhoods. They came to get drugs though. So, you know.
I mean, but the thing was, back in that day, they would be in your neighborhood. They'd be the stores in your neighborhood, though, you know.
True.
But, you know, the Italian, the real pizza restaurants.
In the 80s.
Yeah, the pizza restaurants with real Italians in there, you know, making real pizza in growing up. And
That's
then,
true.
you know, a lot of them left after crack hit because motherfuckers started running up in their stores.
Sure.
Robbing them and shit.
That's
like
facts.
that. You know what I'm saying? So they sold their shit to either the Asians, or they sold it to the Indians, you know what I'm saying, or the Arabs. So, you know what I'm saying? And then they started populating heavy in the hood because they were like, yeah, you know, there's money.
We can make money. We can make
money off these niggas by selling them this shit, by selling them fucked up shit, or, you know, everybody had their shit. There used to be mom and pop black stores in the hood.
In the 70s,
they would be the candy stores. They would be, you know, they had their little stores. They would
remember
the hero
that.
shops and all that shit. And they faded out, like, real quick. Like, they faded out. I don't know if they just wanted to sell, or they forced them to sell. I don't know what they, you know.
All I know is they was there in the 70s, and the 80s they wasn't. I mean,
because by the time crack came in '85, them shits was gone.
No doubt. When crack hit the media in '85, but it was really in the hood in '82. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just didn't know what it was.
I mean, dudes was, you know,
they
wasn't. I should say, it wasn't like a known thing to put rocks in a pipe and bass. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They was putting it in cigarettes, because they was going to the disco clubs and smoking coke cigarettes and shit like that.
Yep.
But, you know what I'm saying? All of a
sudden, that was 83, 84.
Yeah. So when crack hit in '85, that shit, you know, everything goes. The same mom and pop stores, those people got hooked on drugs too.
They got up out of here. A lot of the ones that didn't, they left, we out of here.
Because they was getting robbed. Because you know, crackheads was horrible when it first came out. Like, they were, like, literally, you had to chain down everything, or that shit.
It was zombies.
Exactly. They was walking zombies. They was in the streets at night. You know what I'm saying? Well,
like the people that you, like, it could be family members and they don't know you. Like, they zombies for real. Like,
exactly.
It's
you know
crazy.
What I'm saying? These motherfuckers don't see you
until crazy.
when they come down and need some money. And you're like, oh shit, yo, you know, I got inner tubes for you. Like, what the fuck I'm gonna do with an inner tube?
We catch a flat if you're a bike rider. I got a pedal. So I got a pedal for your bike
like,
with the reflector on it.
And motherfuckers like, yo, man. we robbed this, we got TVs. And so I buy yo, I mean, ain't nobody growing up in the hood. You made deals with them to get shit.
You knew
it was, you know what I mean. But everything changed. All the black mom and pop stores were gone. Shit was was out of there, and it like crack punished the city for years.
So do you think that besides the drug infestation, which we know always will wreck down a city to drop the property value so it could be bought, we know that, but do you think that the division got worse as the mom and pop stores got phased out, moving from the 70s to the 80s, in the inner city? Do you think the division got worse?
Division amongst who?
Amongst our own people.
Yeah, because now people, like when we grew up in the hood, we didn't really know it was the hood. We didn't know it was the hood. We was just having a good time being kids. We outside, we playing with our peoples, we doing whatever, having a good time in our neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't really know until, so the division came when a lot of people started packing up, for good reasons, because crime and murders and robbing and all that shit was going on.
No doubt.
And they started packing up, moving to Long Island for safety, moving to other parts of the city where it was more to be middle class. And so then it became like the people that got away from that started looking down at the people they left behind.
Some even bounced out of town, period. They just went to Atlanta like 88, 89. They started early with the exodus,
I mean, some of them, if you was from down south, because, a lot of people, they was like, y'all from down, my family down south. So a lot of them was going to Atlanta, North Carolina,
Memphis,
and all them places.
But the drugs was down there too.
Exactly, because they had ports.
No doubt.
But the thing is, the divide started to come among black people when you still had the people who lived in the urban fighting and struggling. There's good people there, but they was in a situation that they couldn't get out right at that moment. Maybe they couldn't get out like how the other person got out. But when when the other person got out, they just looked. They looked at them as beneath them now. Like So
you're talking class now.
It's a class thing now. So now it's like, now we don't go there. We don't go back there. It's dangerous. And, the place you grew up. It's to me. It is dangerous. You know what I mean? It's like any.
Yes.
It's dangerous. It could be dangerous, but I mean, if your report here was good, then it's always good. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should be able to go back home. You should be able to go back there and do something and help some people get out or whatever. Mm-hmm. But that wasn't. Our mentality's always been individuality. Like, it's just I did it. I'm gone and fuck it. However.
That's facts. That's the problem right there.
That's the
individual versus group.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's like you can't put a group together nowadays. It's very hard to put a group together. These people right here now, you see them out there, Black Lives Matters, ADOS, whatever they are, all these motherfuckers with whatever. You've been infiltrated. Believe that.
Yeah.
You got infiltrators amongst you in your shit, and they just reporting on you. They and so forth, and they black too.
Oh, and they in leadership positions as well.
Exactly, leading you to the slaughter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Leading you to the slaughter, leading
you to
whatever. Be careful. You know what I'm saying? So it's always they always use your own to fuck up your movements and your progress. That's how they do, because they know that. There's always somebody, there's always a person of color that's willing to sell for whatever, or they owe, or they scared. You know what I mean? Whatever they got on them, or
For
whatever
those
they
silver
offer
coins,
them,
baby. Yep.
they'll do whatever because they don't want to be caught up in that shit. You know?
That's true.
So I mean, it's always that divide is what's hurting us the most. It's not even anything else, because if we not divided, we win.
So okay, so then I guess my last question for the night, I guess, would be this: since everybody is talking politics, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, well, change this law, change that law, all these different things. You know, a lot of us get stuck on the Democrat and the Republican. Yes, we have an independent party, which is not heavily funded, but it should be. Mm-hmm. But I was watching a documentary recently, and I just remember back in in the late 1800s when, or early 1800s, that's what they were focusing on, and the Democrats back then were these slave owners,
mm-hmm.
So
exactly.
in terms of political power, like they were the slave owners, and the Republicans were common folk, including black people, So and they were black people that was in Congress and things of that nature, but they were Republicans because they were anti-slavery. So now you figure, you fast forward, 50, 60 years, push us into the 1950s. Everything flipped. So now the Democrats is the one that's supposed to be for the people. And they was the slave owners, and then the Republicans are supposed to be the common folk, and you look at it now like they just flip flop, and that's how you got to look at the whole system now. Like, yo, y'all all one system. I don't give a fuck about the people. Period. It's all about money here.
It's all about money. It's not about the people. That's why I said the government don't have no.
So we a country divided already.
Well, we do. We divided, and because the country's divided. Because of how they play the people against one another. So,
on some party shit where they just flip. The slave owners are now supposedly helping you. I'm talking about when the original platform. Like, what you think changed? There's nothing. I always got to take it back to this. When is your second stimulus check coming?
It's not. You know what I'm saying? That shit is not coming.
I'm sorry. I don't want to end it on that note, but that's real shit. Like, when it's all said and done, like, you can't get stuck up, on some party affiliation.
All this shit, because
all the whole ticket. Come on, man.
The whole shit is fraudulent because none of them motherfuckers give a fuck about anybody, but line in their pockets.
That's a fact.
Once again, it's about individuality. It's all about individual. What can I do? And the people, and as far as they don't give a fuck. They'll show up when it's time for them to get reelected and shake some hands and tell you some things so they can stay in office. I mean, we talk about it all the time. We talk about it on here. We talk about it online. We talk about these motherfuckers been sitting in there for 50 years. For 50 years. Some of these cats, 50, 30, whatever, 20 years.
My whole lifetime, no doubt.
And now, okay. And now, all of a sudden, you realize there's injustice to black people? And now you want to take knees and wear kente cloths and shit?
And change the law every now and then, like
what the fuck? Like, that's
where you been at?
Exactly. Where the fuck have you been at?
Hold up. If you know the history of the if you know the history of the corporation, how it was formed, all right, you want to call it a country, all right, whatever. Well, that's a different conversation for another day. This is a corporation, but for the sake of the people who don't understand what that means, let's just say that this is a country. Let's use this as an example. Okay, how could you live here? The history. You are a congressman. You are a senator, so you know the history. So how could you sit up there and then try to be oblivious to the plight of black people? That's just talking about racism on a systemic level. Mm-hmm. Then how could you be ignorant to the plight of poor people when there's no 1% that has wealth and 99% that don't have shit? There is no middle class. Middle class is a state of mind where you walk around thinking you're better than somebody else because you make $500 more per paycheck. and then now that you lost your job and you sitting home and unemployment is about to run out, you realize like, yo, I'm no better than the person that I was just, berating because my check is a little bigger than his. And now you ain't even working.
Come on, what I said last time.
Shit.
Everybody check the check. Business.
Yeah, everybody.
Everybody check the check.
But they didn't want to realize that until now.
Because now all these motherfuckers, all these politicians, they still getting raises.
Word.
How you getting raises during the pandemic?
How you getting raises during the depression? We are in a legal depression right now.
But so what that tells you. But people don't see that because they want to believe that this person is doing it, that they give you a good, elegant speech that somebody else wrote for them, and they can act it out well, They
read the teleprompter very well.
Yeah, because they've been trained. They brought in somebody to train them how to read a teleprompter and make it look compassionate. But no, it's all games and all this bullshit and smoking mirrors. Once again, people is like desperate. They like the Democrats is basically banking on your hate for Trump, for Biden to win, right?
Right.
Like, don't matter what Biden does, nobody's coming out, nobody's saying anything, because at the end of the day, they don't want to fuck up his campaign. That's how bad. And like we said before, Trump has done some things. Come on. We don't got
to talk about how bad he is. We know how bad he is.
Exactly. So
we know that.
But at the end of the day, even Joe Biden is not no better. Like don't be fooled. He's pro everything. Police, everything. He just talking good bullshit. He can't even tell you a plan. He has no plan.
Right.
Because somebody else has the plan for him and tell him what to do when he gets there. Just smile and make it look good and don't fuck it up like Hillary did.
Yeah, true.
You understand what I'm saying? Like you don't know his history. Like this is another person who's been in Congress for almost 50 years too.
No, over 50 years. He came in Congress at 69.
I thought it was 75 or some shit.
Right. We came in politics in 69, but he entered Congress. He became a senator in 75.
Some shit like that. But
come on, man.
He's been here like 45, going on 40. He's been doing this over 40-some years. And he's made a lot of statements that is very
public,
but
look it up.
But it's also very offensive.
Yeah.
And things he's done has showed when a person show you who they are, that's who they are. You know what I'm saying?
So what about the ones that say you can change who you really are? You can't change who you really are, right? You are who you are at the core, right?
All right, let's put it like, to be fair, if you want to change something about yourself, that's going to take you to do that, right? That's going to take that's a you thing right there. That's like, you want to make a change. You don't like things that's moving or how you act or whatever. That's something that you got to hold yourself accountable for and wanting to make that change. He's not accountable. He doesn't want to be held accountable for shit.
He coasting right now.
He coasting.
No doubt.
All he doing is trying not to say enough to fuck it up. That's all.
You know what's scary though? Here we are. We get ready to go into July. It'd be November before you know it, man.
Before you know it.
Let me tell you how it's gonna go down. I'm gonna tell you right now. You could book it right now. You will get a second stimulus check, okay? But it will be like in late August. I'm gonna say late August, so that way, as you get ready to vote in November, these people still be on unemployment, things will still be looking good. They have set up 4 debates. I'm very interested to see these debates from a pure entertainment perspective, because I don't believe neither one of them fuckers. So it's just to see what they're gonna say, but keep the emotionalisms out of it. Like the people that hate Trump. You can't hate Trump and not hate Biden too. Like they're the same coin, So, but I get it.
One is a professional politician, the other was a reality star.
Right.
But they both have the same balance of belief when it comes. They with keeping the black man down.
They're about that, and Trump is about money.
He
you
about
know,
money.
He
If you
about
black,
money.
if you black and can get money with him, it's all right with him.
He all right with you, yeah, because he's an economist. Like he's about the money. So what I call him, because it's a class thing. Ironically, it's I'm not really ironic, but it's definitely a class thing with Trump because there are a lot of black people that have vouched for him and with him, and they said, yeah, he was cool with me. Yeah, okay, I get that part, but if you can't benefit what he's trying to do, he ain't fucking with you.
Yeah, if you're not.
But that sounds like typical shit, right?
But if you're not a businessman, then you're not gonna really want to fuck with him because he's about business and real estate.
That's it.
So you know what I'm saying? What is Biden about?
I don't know. What is he about?
I don't know.
Sound bites and
sound bites.
Getting checks.
And he pro police. He's definitely pro police. He's definitely he's about bombing shit.
Yeah, yeah.
He's about
he
that.
definitely sat there in those rooms, watched that.
Yeah.
I mean,
so I mean, I still keep hearing, well, it's the lesser of two evils. I'm like, but it's still evil.
Yeah, I can't. It's hard to buy into that. Yeah.
Like Biden's gonna lead you right to the slaughter. So he's another one, and whoever he picks as his VP candidate can't be trusted neither. I don't care if he picks a black woman; she can't be trusted neither. Because if you stand by him and knowing his history and what he's done and saying that and trying to convince people that you definitely no good to us. You definitely no good to the people.
Well, good luck and the people that's trying to withhold their vote. I understand what that means. So, yeah, but they need to break it down to the people who don't understand. They're getting a lot of opposition because they're thinking that it's about not voting for a particular person, as opposed to saying, yo, you need to respect our vote and we have an agenda, you need to hear it. Or we just going to let the country continue to go into the backslide that it's in. I mean, that's what it is in reality when you really think about it. But I wish guys well in their pursuit of that. If it wasn't three entertainers that was pushing that model of withholding the vote, then I probably would be more on board with it. But when you're an entertainer, you more than likely controlled by the corporation.
One of them who was that? Puff was one of them.
Yeah, Diddy was one. Ice Cube joined now, but I get it. But
Ice Cube probably got a little more better credibility than Diddy.
Yeah, he does on that angle.
As far as, but his you don't know what Diddy. I mean, where's he at now? You ain't heard nothing from him. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, Ice Cube is the one that's been doing a lot of the talking now. And I mean, I get it. I get what he's saying, but his latest thing was, our debt has been paid, so we should not pay taxes. That's the one that I saw the other day.
Yeah,
and I said, I get the premise of what you're saying, but my shit is a little deeper than not paying fucking taxes. Like, if you have a business, you could write off business taxes.
I mean, he was saying that I think a part of it was that he was saying that we shouldn't have pay taxes because of the treatment we've been getting. Why should we be paying the people that's been murdering and killing us?
Yeah, I understood that, and that was at the lowest level. Saying we shouldn't pay taxes because our tax dollars are the ones that provide the funds for the officers to have jobs. So you still dealing at the basic police level, like. The police are just enforcing what's in play already. Yeah. So you need to get rid of what the real problem is. It's the law that allows them to have very little accountability for what they do. See, they follow their own procedures and policies. They have their own book. But then there's the law. So they're not enforcing the law. They're enforcing procedures and policy. But the law, that's why you got to be able to lean on it and know what it is. And then they ain't pressing you like that, except for the dumb assholes that just think that I got a badge and a gun, I'm going to do what I want. Until you lose your job and get the shit sued out of you. You know, like that's basically what it is.
I mean, yeah. I mean, well, oof, it's been a long one. Another one.
It's another one, but worth it. You know, yeah, I don't know, man. We got 4th of July coming. That's supposed to be a blackout weekend coming up, right? Like
Yeah,
no,
I guess.
I guess I don't know. I haven't seen that much. What's the word I'm looking for? Marketing. Haven't really been seeing the marketing. Like I don't know. I boycott. I don't wouldn't call it boycott. It's just certain shit that I don't spend money on regardless. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like it has nothing to do with your. Boy, I like Gucci and shit. Like I don't wear fucking Gucci. Like so, I don't care about that shit. I wear my
Yeah.
own clothes. You know what I mean? Like I don't know this stuff like that. Like okay, you used to spend $1,000 a month in Gucci. You want everybody to rock with you. Okay, and I never really spent shit in there. I probably bought one item out of Gucci in my whole life. Me personally, like
Yeah.
purchased it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah.
Only
I
thing.
don't know. I'm just using them as an example, but
Yeah.
it's other things. Like you talking about a 4th of July boycott. Like okay,
Yeah, we'll see. I mean,
but you know, I
I don't
don't
really
know,
get a.
man.
I don't buy shit anyway like that unless it's something I really need. So
Yeah, and if I'm gonna buy it, I'm gonna buy it before 4th of July because I know it's a
exactly,
holiday and I need my shit.
exactly. So, but yeah, I mean,
But I mean, we'll be back with another one. You know, the Two Grumpy Band on every platform. Check us out, man. Spotify, YouTube, Anchor. Man, I don't even know, man. Spreaker.
we
We
everywhere,
everywhere.
man.
Apple. If you can't find the Two Grumpy Men, then you ain't looking. You know,
Yeah,
it's really that
we
simple.
everywhere, bro. So y'all know what it is, man. Tune in, catch y'all, get up with y'all.
Yeah, the Two
You know.
Grumpy Men. We appreciate everybody out there that's listening. Stay with us, roll with us, rock with us. We here for you. All right? But the Two Grumpy Men, we out of here for now. Peace, babies.
Peace.